Hey guys, it's Chris with City Your Homestead. Happy Hump Day. So last week I bought 7 package of the turkey breast, which I have one here on there. I've had them out since 1 o'clock this morning trying to get them to thaw out. I finally had to put them in water and they're still a little bit frozen. But actually when you cut up your meat, when they are a little bit frozen, it actually cuts up a little bit better. So you want that like in between frozen and thawed out. It works the best. Now I'm sure all of you canners have heard about ugly chicken. Well, we're going to do ugly turkey today. Now, normally if I thought it was just going to be me and Tom, we would do them in pint jars because a pint jar is enough for just the two of us. But considering Jack eats over here every day and 6 days of the week he needs a lunch to take to work, I'm going to can it in the quart so that I know that we have enough meat to get us through whatever we're doing. So with ugly chicken, ugly turkey, whatever you want to call them, you know, I just call it nice tender meat. Whenever you can your meat, honestly you guys, it is so tender. It's really, really, really good. Now, I like to cut them in chunks, but you could literally put them in, like, strips if you wanted to. You know, make them into strips. Now, these turkey breasts, they've already went through and they've trimmed the fat off of them. Everything else, I mean, look how beautiful that is. Really, really beautiful. Now, just because you put them in the chunks like that doesn't mean you can't, you know what I mean, like, Tom goes, "You gonna make me some sloppy Toms?" And I said, we could do that. You can still shred it, you know what I mean, and make it into what you want it to be. If you want to use these for, you know, tacos or whatever, like I say, cut them into small strips. And then they can be, you know, for any of those things that you want to make. Now, each one of these are about 2 pounds. So I should be able to fill 7 jars, because that's all that my canner holds is 7 jars. Now, if I was to go down there and get more again, I would probably try to find my thing for my mixer and make up my own ground turkey. Because this was only 99 cents a pound. That's far cheaper than what it would be to buy turkey, you know, ground turkey. You know, does it take a few minutes to run it through? Yeah, it does. But really, it isn't that much of a big deal to be able to do that, to grind it up. I've done that with sausage and everything else too. Now I'm going to make sure that what I'm going to do is go through and fill all of these first. And then if I have extra meat left, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. But I'll show you when I get done filling all of these exactly what I'm going to do to get the jars prepped and ready to go into my canner. Now, everything is going to be cold, cold, and cold. So the water in here is cold. The meat's cold. My jars are cold. You don't want, you know, hot, cold, whatever. You don't want that because it'll shock your jars. And nobody wants to shock their jars because then they break. Or they get a weak part in them. And you don't want that either. I know this isn't anything fancy for today's video, but you know what? There's a lot of people that have never canned meat. And why not learn? You know what I mean? When you can take stuff that you buy on good deals like that and you're not taking up space in your freezer and you have ready-made food, that's always a good thing. I don't know about you guys, but you know, if it's been a long day and you want to throw together a dinner, and you know, people have given me so many ideas on what I could do with this if I canned it. And you can use it in any of your casseroles, anything like that. It doesn't have to be something fancy that you can do with it. Not at all. So, I'm not going to keep you here to fill up all 7 jars. I will come back when I get them done and we'll show you the next step. Well, I filled them all up and I still have about 3 pounds left. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Because obviously I've not thawed it completely, but, you know, not enough where I'd put it back in the freezer. This is part of the collaboration with Cosmopolitan Cornbread. It's the hashtag March Canning Madness. And so if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. It's an open collab. Just put hashtag March Canning Madness and then at Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and she'll add you to the list. There are several prizes. The main one is a steam canner. And I'm telling you, once you get one, you guys will never go back. And if you're a contributor and you win, then it's 2 cases of jars. I think pints and quarts, she said. So, and there's other little things too. So make sure that you watch the other videos from the other channels. And make sure you put a nice comment in there. And if you like them, you know, like, share, and subscribe. Same way with here. Alright, so now what I do is I'm going to debubble. I know there's nothing in there. But if you notice, like, there's big empty spots, like down there, we're basically just kind of filling them in so that there's not so much air trapped in. And then, you know, like with this, I will put another piece or 2 right in there. You don't want it to be so full that it's crazy, but it will shrink when it's cooking. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're getting the right amount of meat in there. And just don't take it above the 1-inch headspace. Like there's not enough room. I wouldn't add another piece. Some people don't debubble it. I do. I just think it's a good practice with just about anything that you make or anything that you can. Because air is not a good thing when you can. Now this one I can tell you already, to see how there was that great big bubble there. It's going to need a little bit more meat. I'll put a couple pieces in there. Maybe one more. So you're not doing it to push everything down, to squeeze it in there. You don't want to do that. But you're kind of just filling in those holes. Like, see that big hole right there? You don't want that when you're canning. So now I'll put a few more pieces in there. And you can push down, just don't, you know, don't like, you know what I mean? You don't need to do that. Because each one of these jars are going to take probably pretty close to 2 pounds of meat. When you do a pint, it takes pretty much close to 1 pound of meat. I mean, do everything you can possibly do to make your product safe. Yes, I am a rebeler as well, but that doesn't mean you blow safe canning procedures out the window. Don't ever do that, because rebel, regular, whatever it happens to be, that's your family you're feeding that food to. Make sure it's safe. You know what I mean? Make sure you have safe, whatever you're putting inside your jar, make sure it's safe for your family. You don't want something that's not. Alright, so now you're going to clean up all your lids or rims just like you would anything else. Because even though you think, I don't have anything on there, even turkey has fat in it. See, and it should come out clean if you don't have anything on there, which is good. You can use vinegar on this. I still just use water. And this is where you can check for any of your, you know, cracks or chips or anything like that. You know, make sure that you do that. These are all those jars I got from Little Dusty, so my family is going to eat out of them now. Alright, and no chips or anything. That's a good thing. I don't want to spend all that money on jars and then find out they're all chipped up. But actually, when I get them from like Little Dusty's or whatever, it's an auction. I think I got 2 dozen of each. Plus that pool table for $7 for my grandson. I think it was like $35. So much cheaper than buying them new. So now you want to do it just like you would any of the other canning. Just do it fingertip tight and put them in your canner. Alright, so they're all in the canner. Now what I'm doing is got my heat on, and I want to get that heated up inside, and I want it so that it will steam out of this little vent hole at the top. Once it vents for 10 minutes, make sure you time it, vents for 10 minutes, then you're going to put your jiggler on. And then I'll bring you back when that, but for quarts, it's 90 minutes. Pints, it's 75 minutes. Alright, so now it's been the 10 minutes, and now the jiggler is on there, and you'll adjust your stove to where the jiggler will stop, stop. That's what I'm trying to get it now. And if it takes too long, there we go. We need to go up just a little bit. And I will tell you, I will never grind turkey again. Hopefully I didn't break my garbage disposal. But that thing took forever, and this is all I got out of it. It just was not worth that. So I don't mind doing sausage, but I will never do turkey again. Live and learn. That was a lot of work, and hopefully he can just reset my garbage disposal and it'll work again. So I'm going to get my timer set for 90 minutes. Make sure you don't take that top off until it naturally comes down. Don't open it quicker than that, because I promise you it will break jars. So I will be back when it's done and on the other countertop. Alright, so there we go. I've had 4 seal already popping, making noise. See how it's still cooking inside? And then all that broth that it actually makes, so that when you use it, you can actually make a gravy from it as well. I didn't add any water, nothing to it. So that's all natural from the meat. So if you get a chance to get, you know, hamburger, turkey, chicken, beef, any of that on sale, grab it and put it in a jar. And, you know, they call it ugly turkey, but I don't think it's too ugly. I think actually that's pretty. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you look at the other channels and see what they have. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And get your name put in the drawing as often as you can. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing.